Uh,
Hi, welcome back to Anika Benam Family Channel. Today we're going to see if these symptoms sink or float.
for this experiment, we just need some items which we already have in our household, like small stones, tomato, orange, metal spoon, plastic spoon, some small balls of block clay, juice can, and aluminium foil. And along with it, you can take any clear vessel, any box or a vessel, and fill it with water. Before starting the experiment, you can take a paper and make a note of all the objects that you have taken. And then we can ask kids what do they predict? Would the object sink or float? And at the end of the experiment, we can ask them to make a note of it about what actually happened and discuss further on what they have learned. So, shall we put the stone first?
Yes,
So, what do you think, Anika? Would it sink or float?
I think it will sink.
Pranav, what do you think? Sink or float?
It sink.
It would sink. Okay, let's see. Let's drop it inside.
1, 2, 3. It sink.
Yes. Shall we try the tomato?
Yes. I want to put it in.
Okay, what do you think? Will it sink or float?
I want to touch this one.
Yeah.
It will float.
Float? Why?
Because I think it is, not heavy.
Okay, Pranav, what do you think? Would it sink or float?
It's not sink. It float.
It floats? Okay, let's put it inside. Oh, the tomato floats, as you said. Awesome. Okay.
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 So what's next, Mummy?
So you both said the stone sank because it was heavy, isn't
Yeah.
it? So shall we try another heavy thing, the
Yeah.
cold drink can? So what do you think? Would it sink or float?
It was sink. Put together.
Okay, you can put it together. Yeah.
Yay!
Mm.
Let's put it in.
Mm-hmm. What's happening?
It's sinking.
No, it's floating. It's not in the down. See?
How?
It's floating.
How? Wait a minute.
Okay, so did you understand? Not all the heavy items have to sink. Okay? So shall we put the spoon inside? So
Yeah.
both of you, do you have spoons?
Yeah.
What spoon do you have, Anika?
I have a metal spoon.
And what spoon do you have, Pranav?
I have a plastic knife.
Plastic spoon? Okay, so let's put it inside.
Where's you, my little brother?
What happens?
It
It floats,
It
right.
floats.
And Anika, your turn?
I think mine will sink.
Okay. Oh yes, it sinks.
Now my turn.
So what is the next?
Orange.
Yes. So what do you think? Would it sink or float?
I think it will float.
Pranav, what do you think? What would happen?
It will float.
It would float? Okay, let's try. You're right. It floats. And do you know why is that? That's because orange
Have lot on.
orange skin has some air trapped inside it. So shall we try to remove the skin and see what happens? So can you take it out and remove the skin?
I'll do it.
Okay, so now that we have removed the skin completely, show it. Yeah. Let's try. It might still have some air, but let's try putting inside. Slowly. See, it sank.
Because it doesn't have any air inside.
Yeah, because we have removed the skin, which might have some air trapped. Okay?
So the skin is the air?
No, skin is not air. Skin would have some air trapped inside it. Okay?
Okay.
Not just the orange, even with lime we can do this. So,
Hey, my turn.
okay, wait, before that. Okay, let's do that. So there are two things. Ball, Pranav, you can take the ball. And we have a clay. Anika, can you take the clay?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So clay is small, isn't it? And the ball is bigger. But what do you think? Which one will sink and which one will float? Yeah, tell Anika.
I think this will sink.
The clay would sink?
Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think, Pranav?
This will sink.
Sink or float?
I think it will.
I think it will float, isn't
It
it?
will.
Inside. Let's put it inside.
It will.
It floats. Yay!
Let's see if I because it has air inside it.
Uh-huh.
It sinks.
Sinks. Yes.
It sinks all
Sinks.
the way
Right.
down.
Now let's do something. So we have the aluminium foil.
Are you?
Yeah. So can you take one each and just crumble it a little bit and put it. Let's put. Okay. Pranav, you want to do it or you're fine?
You want to do this one? Not
No, separately.
like
Okay.
me.
Not a lot. Not a lot. Little bit is fine. So what do you think? Would it sink or float?
I think it will float.
What do you think, Pranav?
I think it floats.
Yes, because it's not that dense, isn't it?
Yes.
It might have air inside. It's not that dense. It's not densely packed. So let's put it inside and see.
Yeah.
Yeah, put it.
You're right.
It floats.
Yeah.
Now now that it floats, shall we try to make it dense and see what happens, okay?
Okay.
Now take that out
And
and you can use the... Okay, now shall we try?
yeah,
Yeah, put it
I
inside.
think it was sitting.
Yes. See, both the aluminium foil sank, isn't it? Now, see,
What happened?
other than density, there are a lot of things which makes an item to sink or float. Okay?
Okay.
The material, buoyancy, there are a lot of things, okay? So we now saw that when we make it dense, tight, and based on its heaviness, it sinks. Shall we see one more concept now?
Okay.
The previously saw that the clay and the stones have sank, isn't it? Now let's see how to make it float. Right?
Okay.
We saw how we made the orange which was floating to sink. We saw how we made the aluminium foil which was floating to sink. Now we are going to see a different one. How to make the clay and stone which is already sank, to float. How to make it float. Okay? Now we have made the clay flat and we have turned the corners little bit inwards. So it displaces more water and due to the buoyancy force it is floating. So same clay and stone which sank before, now together it floats. Does it remind you of ship? Second experiment is about how liquids float and sink. For this, I have taken a small bottle and 3 liquids. Small quantity of honey, same amount of water and same amount of oil. You can mix the color in water if you want. I have not done it. So let's go and see how to do this. Now, let's pour the honey in the bottle slowly. Now, you can take the same amount of water and pour in the bottle slowly. This, the liquids not mixing always makes kids very excited. So water is not mixing with the honey because water is less denser than honey. Now we can pour oil slowly in the bottle. You can see that oil floats on water because oil is less denser than water. So here we could see 3 layers have been formed. At the bottom there is honey, water and oil.